So today is October 27th. Dad and I just finished loading truck for the Scranton Farmers Market. This is by far the hardest frost we have had yet this season. You can just see, like, watch this. You can see, watch it melt. And so when it's like this, we try not to even drive in the grass just because basically it then turns it black. We are pretty concerned about our peppers and eggplant after today. They still have decent leaf cover, but I mean, with how cold it was, I think it was 28 this morning, you can see all these leaves now that are frosted, which the sun is gonna now melt it off, are gonna be brown, they're gonna die. And I don't know if there's enough leaf protection, maybe for a certain eggplant like down underneath there, to withstand this one. Peppers, same way, frosted pretty hard. These peppers here were a little bit drier in the dry season, and so they don't have as many leaves. So I would expect these to die quicker than the ones down there that have a little more foliage. And so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna do a check back probably in the next 4 or 5 hours after everything melts off, and you can really get an understanding of how bad it's really gonna be. That whiteness is not just dew, it's all frost. The quicker that sun comes out and melts it off, the better chance they have of surviving. And I mean, at the end of the day, it is October 27th, almost into November. This is normal this time of year. Anything we get after this is just a bonus. This is what's expected. It just sucks because we still have so much out in the fields that if it didn't frost, we could harvest for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, who knows? All right, so it's like 2 hours now after the frost is burned off. Eggplant is looking really bad. The leaves, instead of being green, are like a blackish color, which in probably a day or so is then gonna turn to like a yellow, crispy, dried up leaf. And that is when, if we can, we will go back through where hopefully these lower leaves, which don't really look affected, and underneath there should hopefully be some decent eggplant, like you can see right there. That was not touched at all by the frost. So it's not like a complete wipeout, but that was a pretty bad one. One more of those and it probably will finish off everything, because it's just slowly breaking down all the protection that everything has. So as for myself, I'm gonna be getting into something a little different today. Rather than the normal harvesting, because tomorrow's Tuesday, because we don't have a lot to pick and we don't really have any workers here at the moment, I'm gonna work on getting some winterizing done, which I'm gonna start with the water tanks there and there. Gonna take them down to the pressure wash them out the best I can, drain them the best I can. That way they're ready for next season, and the water that's in the hoses or in the valves are not gonna freeze, break, and then we have issues when we want to use them again. We've been working with a flat tire on this wagon all spring and summer. I'm gonna pump it up one more time just to get me through today, and then it'll sit all winter until we probably fix it, I don't know, over the winter or something of that sort. If you remember me breaking this tank back in the summertime, now we have a smaller guy. We were actually talking about getting a new tank over the winter. That way we don't have to, because this just isn't quite big enough. That way we don't have to use this again, and we don't have to worry about it getting dirty. But I don't know, I'm just gonna clean it for now, drain it, and then we can decide what we want to do. As for the irrigation pipe, all that is now stacked up. We have here, and then if you can see out there to the left of the yellow van is the whole wagon filled up with it. We try not to get ourselves into a predicament by getting stuff out of the field too late and just waiting too long, because it's no fun when you got to rush around and then you're not doing things the correct way. And so as far as like winterizing sprayers, winterizing water tanks, getting potatoes out of the ground before it gets too cold, all that stuff is nice to be done now when it does get below freezing at night, but it's also getting up to like 55, 60 during the day, and it's actually enjoyable to work. Instead of it being like 35 for a high, you're freezing cold, you have to worry about water hoses freezing, and it's just not fun. So now is the ideal time to get all this out of the way. If you remember in my last videos, we did get stocked up quite a bit with more bell than anything. There's 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 crates of green or bushels, and then you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 crates of red bell, and then we have 8 crates of the red Italian, and 4 crates here of eggplant, and a couple cherry and a Cuban all there. And obviously, well, this bin is almost empty now, but the 2 bins of hot pepper bushes. So that'll get us through another week at least, maybe even a little longer, because we won't sell half bushels now. I think I'm actually gonna start with the water wheel planter because I'm already right here. I'm not even gonna worry about the transplanter just because we're gonna be using that yet for garlic. I'll clean that up all at one time. And I think the tank's pretty empty for the most part. So this is what the tank looks like when it's not cleaned out. It's supposed to be this color, and it looks like black almost. We'll get that cleaned out though, no issues. I do enjoy cleaning up equipment, make it nice and pretty shiny again. I mean, this particular piece is decently old and it's in great shape for, you know, the time it's been on the farm here. Comes right off. Nice and clean. So the first one of 3 are done. This one was probably the easiest. It cleaned up really good. Wasn't dirty to begin with, so I'll get this up, park it, let it start to dry out, drain every little last bit of water. I'll grab the next. So here's water tank number 1, the smaller one, 325 gallon. This obviously isn't the safest rig in the entire world because of the reason that it tips backwards. There's no way, which actually we did kind of rig up a way to put a board on the back side. That way it has like a kickstand to keep it from tipping backwards. But either way, it's still not safe. Like, it should be on a 4-wheeled wagon. And so anyway, what's nice about when you're winterizing it is you can unhook the dump part of it, and now I can tip it backwards and basically get this tank to empty out completely, which is what I'm going to do right now. There's a little bit of water left in it. All I got to do, lift this up. There we go. Just like that. There's a little more water than I expected. That came down a little fast. But luckily, that's why we have the chains here to hold it. And it's above the valve and below the valve, so it didn't break or hurt anything. I forgot I usually prop one of those blue chairs underneath it so it doesn't go down that far, but it'll be okay. Now I can open that up and drain what little water is left in there. You can see how green and scummy it is. Loosen the cap here so it can breathe. Just like the other one, it's pretty gross. Maybe I can put you down in there. Oh yeah. Not something I'd want to go swimming in. And so now we'll get to cleaning. This has a very little top on it, so it's hard to do a great job with it. It's very satisfying though, getting all that green gunk off. Number 2, Done. All right, last one's down here. This one's a little bit trickier though because it's four-wheeled. I gotta put those ramps up under the front. I'll pull it up on, and then that'll help drain out the back. Once I get enough water out of there to where I can lift it myself, then I'll even put blocks underneath it to tip it up further so I can get as much water out as possible. I don't know how much I'm gonna get this one to drain. There she goes. This one is the biggest and definitely the worst. This one never seems to come completely clean, but the cool thing about this one is the hole at the top is so large, I've actually gotten in there before to clean it. So if I have to, that's what I'll do. So I just finished up. Ooh. Got it as good as I could. Not bad, definitely a lot better than what it was. You just can never get that last little bit out of there. So now these are good for the winter. Don't have to worry about them. Now Mom and I are gonna get a bin of cabbage for this Grand Farmers Market. Mom said she needed a couple trays of cauliflower just for the home farm market, so that's what we're getting now. Mostly white, couple purple. I think we have around 7 or 8 rows, maybe one more, maybe less, of cauliflower. We've cleaned 4 of them pretty hard, but there is now 2 more varieties that's right behind me towards the cabbage that are on fully, and we barely even started to pick yet. So that's gonna be the next issue. We don't want anything to get ahead of us. When cauliflower gets too mature, it'll sometimes turn purple, or it'll like kind of shoot out a little bit and get like looser, I guess you would say. And we don't want any of that to happen. So if we need to take or try and get some more orders, we definitely will. So it's the next day, it's 8:35, just heading down here to the farm. Another hard frost this morning. We don't like to do a lot when it's this cold just because, well, everything's frozen. So as far as harvesting, it's not good to pick anything. And we don't have an absolute ton going on, but it is gonna be a big day. I need gas now. We are gonna harvest the last 2 rows of our potatoes, so that's really exciting to get them done. I guess Hurricane Melissa, I think it's called, is gonna be coming through, or like the effects of it are coming through on Thursday. So we're most likely not gonna be going to market. We're supposed to get around 2 to 3 inches of rain or something like that. And if we don't get the potatoes out of the ground, get most of our field work done, we're not gonna get in for a little while after that because nothing dries out as fast this time of year with it being colder and cloudier and getting dark earlier and stuff like that. You can still see the frost here on the grass partially. In the shade, out in the sun, it's already melted off. Our sweet corn, our peppers, our eggplant, like I said yesterday, which I don't know what video this is gonna be in, were hit really hard. I still think there's some left though. I think today is the last day of frost for the next couple days. So maybe tomorrow we'll go out and we'll check well, actually today we gotta go out and get some peppers, hopefully for an order for another farmer, and we'll get a good feel for what's left. The season is, you know, slowing down. There's still a ton to do though. Oh, there's some nice mums. We still have, if it's still good, some like acorn spaghetti butternut out in the field. We still have onions to wash. Like I said, we have the potatoes, not only to dig, but then just to bag for the rest of the season. We have all the winterizing to do. We still have garlic to go in the ground. So definitely stay tuned, follow along, because it's not like as soon as the harvesting stops, we stop. You know, we're going all year round basically. It just, you know, slacks off a little bit. See what we got going on in the cooler here. Dad had an okay day. This time of year, the market starts to slow down. And so he brought back some cabbage, but it was a full bin. And then you can see he brought back some assorted peppers, some kohlrabi, some kale. There's baskets of potatoes. Over here, some sweet corn, baskets of peppers. Cauliflower, I think he brought that back. Yes, he definitely did. Then Mom and I picked that bin of cabbage yesterday, and then this is all just of our extra stock around here. It is cold though. No mistake in that. Ooh. So we're gonna go and get the cows fed. We have to heat up the glow plugs. Just let them sit for a second or two. Beautiful morning though. First off, we'll feed the cats. Boy, I don't know if you heard that, but that was like the loudest moo I've heard in a long time. I got nervous. But you can see them all standing right there. They must be hungry, which just means that we should really be giving them a round bale, apparently. They're used to getting the corn stalks. Hi, kitty. And if you're wondering what I just put in the bucket here, it is a mixture, we call it chop. It's like a mixture of corn, mostly corn, oats, soybean meal, and other minerals. So obviously, top priority is getting the cows fed. Here they come running. But also, we close up the high tunnels this time of year at night just because of the frost. We're gonna open it up now, or I'm gonna open it up now, I guess I should say. I can't believe how much greener these two rows are than these two rows. Usually, oh, here's the tag right here. If you can read that there, Red Deuce is the variety. And I like picking these better than those. Maybe it's just because the plants are better, but look at all of the green tomatoes. Nice, big, small, medium, all sorts. We've basically got all the reds, pinks, oranges cleaned off. And they're not ripening much. We could turn on the heat, but we're not gonna do that. That means this row here is red morning, or these two rows are red morning. Clear difference. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that this whole high tunnel slopes this way, meaning that this lays wetter than this does down here. Now, we do water them all the exact same, but in the case when we have more rain, these do get more water than these guys do. I can only imagine that the cows love this weather. First off, they have a thick coat. Second off, no flies bother them. We had 6, 3 got sent off to the butcher. These 3 are going, I think, in like a week. And then I think we're gonna get more, like as soon as possible. Beef prices are very high though. And if you can't make money, it ain't worth buying them. But I still think it'll be profitable. I don't know exactly though. My dad will decide what he wants to do and how many he wants to get. Now I'm up here at the upper high tunnel. These are just roll-up sides. We are very shortly gonna do the whole clean out where we're gonna pick every tomato that's any good off of the plants. And then we're gonna rip all the plants out. These rows I would say are doing just about as good as the lower one. I still think the ones down below look a little bit healthier. I don't know what these 2 rows are. This not looking good, I think, is from the laying too wet, because this high tunnel slopes this way. I could be wrong, but it seems funny that, you know, we have one dying here and there, but these are all really nice besides that row. And again, lots of nice green tomatoes. There is more red up here for sure. We are in the process of cleaning them out. We can definitely get probably a box, 2, 3 boxes, something like that. Oh no. Be sure to stay tuned for the next video if you want to see how the potato harvest turned out.